mystical mountains of Panama, some of the last of the Jaguar corridor. Oh, I think we're just starting. So welcome to another beautiful morning coming to you from the majestic mountains of Panama, the last little bottom end of the Jaguar corridor. Incredible nature, hard work, lots of jungle, small population. So today, whoa, man, do we have so much going on? The second Friday, 13th of the year, yesterday, the most massively murderous piece of the campaign in the Middle East. To all of you honorably served vets out there, thank you so much for your service. Thanks to the military. Thank you, oh Lord, above. Thank you for this beautiful world. An attitude of gratitude is seriously the orientation of growth. No doubt about it. Life is a gratitude test. The more you're thankful for the small amount you do have, the power in that is so much more than all these guys who have everything and appreciate nothing, are just waiting to put their foot on the back of someone else. Character is king. It is that internal muscle dynamic. It's not the internal muscle. The internal muscle takes you to the gym. The internal muscle is discipline, right? A heavy discipline. But there's a dynamic in there, which is character. Strong trees grow all over the place, but certain ones have some intrinsic character to them to where they're just full of life all the time. You're always just like, why is all the life over here? And then what's the next step? Observation, continued observation, analyzation. You don't know anything. You can't just look at something, hear a word, hear a mouth sound, and think that you know it. Lion is walking across the thing right here. That could be your ancestor. That could be a human spirit. That could be something that changes into a human spirit later. We don't know how it works. We don't believe anything. We don't know anything. And it's that orientation right there, that seeking, consistently learning orientation that's going to make us lightning speed better. Doing as much work in your one day as these beer drinking, donut eating, Netflix watching people everywhere are doing all the time. So doing in your day what they're doing in their week, in 1 week, you're a month and a half ahead of them. This is an excellent opportunity. All challenges are opportunities to build strength. So when we're in this crazy, conflictive time, we need you most right now to have exactly that intrinsic character that will attract and cultivate. In this control freak era, we need the cultivators to come forward and really show us the way that we've been shown already, right? This is nothing new. In the manner that is right here, Exodus number 2. We need to learn the nature. We need to learn to be good, to put the rest, to realize and identify conflict, confusion, distraction. All those words right there are just a form of deception, because our highest, truest self would not be in conflict at all. It would not want to control anything. Controlling things is a great way to lose yourself. Jungle juice. Highly nutritious water from diverse nature. Blessed, thanked, because Dr. Masaru Emoto even verified what we've been taught for ages, that life is a gratitude test, that your gratitude, orientation, and thankfulness for everything you have, your 10 fingers and 10 toes, your breath, this insanely high intelligence out here that is maintaining this whole world for us at perfect oxygen, nitrogen, carbon balance, no matter how many bags of trash or waste we produce or smoke we kick into the air or plastic islands we create in the sea, and oil dump, and plenty of that happening right now, right? So we're really blessed to have such a purification energy out there. And we should really, if we're honorable, if we have that kind of character that I'm talking about, we should start being purifiers and get with that purification energy too. There's a long road right there, actually. There's so much distance you can make on that thing. And we've all had these people from memory who was just, at least those of us in my age bracket, where there was that old school cowboy spirit. The guy was hardcore. He didn't do nothing wrong. He was a John Wayne. The little kids come around. He's like, hey, let me show you how to do this real quick. Hey, okay, now you know, get out of here. You're right. Those really excellent installations into the community, right? Remember that what you accept, you install. So if you have something traverse, something in contrast of that, somebody who's harmful in everything that they do, who's deceptive and dramatic. Dramatic is the disease. Drama, right? They can have you at the edge of your chair about something that is not your creative passion or purification, service to nature, service to God, role, truth, service to truth. Let's just say it better, right? And remember, truth, complete pure truth, will be free of all kinds of conflict, will be free of any kind of confusion. You would know in your heart, because of the 1,000 steps right behind you. It's 1,000 recoveries and 1,000,000 reps to get the new skill, to get the new ability, to get the new dexterity, to have that mental dynamic, to familiarize yourself with sort of the baseline rules of nature. And going back to the law of the jungle, the prescription from God would really be the answer to the book of the law that we're living right now. You could look those terms up a little bit. But Candace Owens for president has done an excellent job in her exposés exposing all of this black magic stuff too. But since we're a psychology channel, we'll try to stay as least esoteric as possible. However, that said, if they can label some real stuff that they don't want you to know about, some uncomfortable title, mouth sound, right? Zion, or whatever, if they can label, if they can give you a label to where you think that you know what's going on off of knowing that mouth sound, and even better, if they can convince you to be a mouth servicer rather than a real skill haver, if they can convince you into the book of the law, into the lawyering, into the identity, that's the main thing. If they can get you to assume an identity, you're gone. You've lost your individuality. You've lost your destiny path right there. You've assumed into this identity. I don't even care who issues it. The penguin suit politicians, the Hot Topic outlet, the Diddy rap, it's all, someone who can recognize psyops because they've lived through psyops. Someone who has 40 years, 35 years about in clinical psychological experience, who can say, oh, wait a minute, psychology is even misleading. Links below every single video I do to the Kia Carlberg science. Look at that. Seriously, look at that to become a Jedi ninja. I want the Jedi ninjas next to me, ideally, I would want them to have samurai sword skills. I would want them to have rifle, hand pistol skills. I would have them motorcycle riding, iron horse, real horse, all checked out. You know what I mean? We'd be doing this all the time. I saw recently a good friend of mine who I visited in the Netherlands just a year ago. Very good friend of mine. Right? well, I will say very good internet friend of mine. Like we're all in this. I'm speaking in this internet realm I'm speaking on right now, and most 1000% the okay. So what he was talking about is hustle culture and how hustle culture is not the way. Kenny, what's up? My boy on another project, a bad breaking true Albuquerque stories project. I'll put links below to that one as well. They're below most of the videos, but it's at True Albuquerque on YouTube. And Kenny is a pastor now, and he is the real Walter White character actually, and he says that all the time too. That hustle culture is a thing. But listen, if you're going to be an ultimate Jedi in the army of God, and you're going to really make God proud and get your wings in stage 2, and you're going to have that serious character, isn't it going to require flow state to flow state productivity? Now, don't get me wrong. When it's time, when that time comes, and timing's everything in the fight of life. And if you're a true Jedi that trains all the time, you'll be able to discern that timing is the right timing. The time is now. Jump and chill if that's what's being called for. If there's an opportunity, if it's naturally coming together that it's time to play with the kids at the pool. Brandon Angel Instagram, live story bubbles. You can see what I'm doing in live time. Get yourself in shape while you're at it. Stay motivated. You can see, yeah, when it's time, when it's convenient, when the kids are available, when you have an opportunity to do something excellent for some young people and chill at the pool, go do it. Do it. Definitely do it. Outside of that, isn't it going to require flow state to flow state consistent productivity in order to generate that Jedi that you want to ideally run next to as well? Yes, it is. This guy's got to be top notch on his game. The number one thing I'm looking for somebody in discipline is discipline, hardcore discipline. I know that if this cat's getting up super early in the morning and he's answering or responsive on his phone and he's jumping in a burpee meeting with me and he's jumping in a mastermind with me because he wants to, not because I pushed him. But let's just say if I'm observing this person doing this, even if the mastermind's not with me, I know this guy's going to the top. I know this guy because he's willing to sacrifice the night out before. I mean, this is it is a matter of we've been told, we know from the grand teacher, the grandest teacher. I call it nature the grand teacher, but the grandest teacher. We've been told, it's through your dedication, it's through your discipline and sacrifice that you're going to be able to achieve your dreams and the best service to goodness, which makes you the most powerful being to accomplish your dreams. So that's why we do get up early. We do sharpen the blade every single day. We do develop the character. We do pay attention to people with character. And when we meet people on our path, JP Keller, do a salute to you. And we're deep enough already. We have enough wisdom that we want more because you likely found this video either through me personally or on the internet. Either way, path illuminates as you walk it. Now you find me, now you find the video because you're already dedicated to this. And when you do find people, other Jedis out here on the journey, nurture a relationship. It's necessary now. They've got their secret destructive societies. We need to make our secret constructive societies of growth and cultivation versus control freakism. Set a complete new paradigm, at least in every way that we can. If it's just intersocially, press yourself to be a winner that just wants to see everyone else win. Press yourself to support other guys right here with you because the programming wants you to be a small, jealous-minded hater. The programming wants you to be a crab in the barrel. The programming wants you to do the devil's work for him, pulling everybody down in this constant stay in the gerbil wheel slave process they've got us in, where they remove us from knowledge, they remove us from dynamic experience, they remove us from intersocial connectivity without resentment and hate for one another, without judgment on people who step outside of the status quo, of the mainstream, of the program Diddy culture, Oh, you're not cool? Oh, wait. Oh, I get it. I get it. You're cool. I gotta act how you fools, you program drones act, or I'm not in with you. That's cool. The line is drawn, I guess, excellently. The line is drawn excellently. I'm happy about it. Are you happy about it? Okay, good. You know what I mean? When you graduate, then we can. Do you see this, ladies and gentlemen? Do you see this? Right? And a lot of people are out here, they know to act as though they are supportive of their friends and not just the celebrities. They know to act that way, but then it's an act, and then they kind of secretly hate in the back of their mind. No, get all of that out of your system. Clean that. Purify yourself first. Bruce Lee says the first thing that you need to clean is the mind that makes the world around you. The first thing that you need to strengthen, organize, and purify is the mind inside that creates the world around you. I started out this day saying thanks and explaining that life is a gratitude test and it is a grateful orientation that truly makes you great. Yesterday with Eric and AK and the mastermind, we're here for you all the time. We talked about the multi-dimensional, there's guys out there that are raking it in on the money, but man, they're just, you can see the whole building on that in their being, and they've done so many shady things to get that money that now they're more or less soulless. At least they're MPD, and that's what they want, right? You're either going to be MPC or MPD, or you're going to be their enemy because you became a strong, independent individual who resisted the program. I talk a lot about that in the last video. Resistance. That's how muscle is made. That is what you need to strongly proceed through this magical journey of life, atmosphere, earth, holodeck training module for your soul. And if you do it honestly, completely honesty, and you completely honestly are a winner that just wants to see everyone win, and you decide to be that. And I'm not going to hate on no one. I am going to be transparently honest from here on. It took me, I will be very admittedly here, it took me being faced with the worst deceptive force to make that decision. And that's most people. Most people make their changes when they're faced with the dire consequences or the polar opposite that shows them this is not the way. I salute the person who's able to learn from others, do constant study, be flow state to flow state productive, find these gemstones of stories, informations, whatever, take from them what you take from them, happily, thankfully, gratefully, leaving the rest without conflict. Again, conflict is a deception. It's a distraction. It's a deception. Those of us whose missions are big enough and commitments are strong enough, we don't have conflict. Conflict's not productive. Conflict is not fruitful. Conflict is not necessarily the way. So while we're in this hue of an experience where light meets the dark, right? Our spiritual journey is having a human experience here in the middle. This opportunity is an excellent test for all of your true colors to show, and the light beings over here to make a decision themselves, isn't it? Make a judgment themselves, isn't it? But since this is all recorded simulation training module for your soul, see the Chris Langan link below for the quantum physics explanation of a person with the largest recorded IQ in history, who's a professional cowboy, by the way. And that's another thing, right? Like, you could be, it's very, very interesting and important that this intelligent man who lays all this out also is a representation of that. He knows that he doesn't want to trade riches for soul. I want to tell you real quick the Joe Bonamassa story. You may not know who Joe Bonamassa is, but Joe Bonamassa is a blues legend. He was playing at 12 on stage with B.B. King, who already at that time called him Smoking Joe Bonamassa. Right? When Joe Bonamassa came out, but when he became 16, 17, 18, it was really going to explode. This was in the CD age, and he released only on DAT tape. And the reason that he did that is because he wanted to go only to serious music enthusiasts. And the only person who could play a DAT tape was someone who had access to a recording studio at that time. These little digital audio tapes, you never seen one probably. It's not the little mini cassette. It's just all the very expensive tape that they had only for high quality recordings way back in the day. And that's what he released his albums on. He wouldn't allow them to release on CD. That was never done before. Nobody released on that medium, you know. And he doesn't serve alcohol at his shows. They're very close-knit people, and it's all serious blues enthusiasts that even know about this. One of the most talented guitar players of our epoch. That's just something to think about. That's just something to think about. Right next to geographical change and geographical zones have power to them. There is a documentary called Muscle Shoals. Muscle Shoals is where all the 60s hits were made. The old school Delta blues, Aretha Franklin, Buddy Guy super hits of that time were all made at this little studio called Muscle Shoals, completely white band, interesting. Muscle Shoals over there in Alabama, and people would travel there, and the documentary is basically just a list of interviews saying, yeah, there's something about this place. There's something about this place. That is evidence of intrinsic formulation in the voodoo verse, if you will, in the dynamic verse, if you will, in the network of stuff that you can't see but does exist, is a reality, including God. Watch the Chris Langdon link below. Really take this opportunity of life seriously and learn everything you can, you know. And if a Jedi like me is telling you to go look up something and you don't do it, who are you? No, I'm just kidding. But no, seriously, take it from a cultivator. We came here to get strong. We came here to learn, build dexterity, get tons of different skills, and definitely a knowledge of biology. Hello, if you really want to raise your cognition, character, and dynamics, study that. Hua, it's a basic, but that's what we should have studied. That whole time we were tortured in a sterile classroom. We should have been out here getting dirty, throwing rocks at each other, building character, right? Now, we did this meditation yesterday. I want to revisit that meditation. I want to do it daily. Stuff is only tough when it's in your routine the first couple of days. The first couple of days you're installing it into your routine. Once you're able to install it into your routine of this flow state to flow state, productivity, momentum, that can't, it's real. You'll start to see what I'm talking about. Then you're just like, whoa, man, I'm moving at 1,000 miles a minute. I'm doing in my day what this guy's doing in 2 weeks of his time. And it's true, right? And then isn't that the light speed, light generation, energy force thing we're supposed to be able to cultivate? Isn't that almost the thing that nobody's able to cultivate? That focus, that enthusiasm for life, you know, that attitude of gratitude. I think it could totally be from the 52 pharmaceutical chemicals consistently found in all the U.S. city water supplies. Do you have to do that too? Yeah. You got to learn how to dodge and parry and, you know what I mean, and block, right? You've got to be able to find that kind of information as well. Oh, there's poison on the food that's giving everyone cancer, this is an excellent opportunity for me to go find a small farmer and start supporting him and build my farm network. And oh, look at that. I could probably just sit in an office and broker this food to these oligarchical chefs. I could learn about this myself and consult to the farm, and we can grow more species because we heard about nutritionaldiversity.com's excellent examples and jungle juice. And right before we get to this ultra most powerful meditation you'll ever find on the internet, all late in this video, you had to stay to get to it. Right before we get into that, dude, get the no-brainer, most studied elements in the fitness game, right? You know, you get the correct nutrition, the clean water, you elevate your work performance, sleep performance, the way you treat your children, and the food and water that you give them. Who what? Here we go. Ashwagandha, time-tested, anciently enhances all performance. David Goggins recommends it. This is a great source of it. I've been taking this for a minute here, and I do everything right. If it's not right, don't do it. If it's not true, don't say it. I do it all the right way. I get the stuff, I take it. Okay, it really truly does work, even though we're the designers of it. You want to make sure for real before you tell your homies about it. And we're all a little Spartan tribe following this whole thing right here, you know. And I'm not the Spears Tip, actually. I'm your fellow journeyman. There's another Spears Tip, and he's telling me everything what to do. CoQ10, straight up, seriously, most important thing for all of us right now after we've been eating at restaurants, even if our kitchen's excellent, and picking up bad oils, vegetable oil, soy oil. No. Olive oil and olive oil butter is the best, and coconut oil as well. All right. And coconut oil actually works so good for people because you do need an oil like that to cut the bad grease. So for the meditation, in through the nose, and then you make even more, right? To where your whole lung capacity that you've never used before in your life is completely full, and then it pressurizes all that blood oxygen saturation level to your veins. And you want to kind of like rabid dog breathe for a minute, like 1 minute, you know, and then you'll chill out. And in with thank you and out with I love you. Okay, that's it. If you would like to position your eyes to look towards the third eye, put your hands together and put your feet on the floor. I feel like that's another stack you can do on top of this. And in time, you'll find a few adjustments that are all your own. But remember that consistency is the key. And if you really want to expand your mind, man, then you will do this practice in your routine. I would like to offer also a great place to put it is on your pee fee, and that's when you look at the bathroom door and you're not going to go through that bathroom and use that bathroom until you pay the toilet tax, which is this meditation while doing a split stretch, and then followed by 12 burpees or whatever, you know, that you're doing at that time for your pee fee. Say it in the morning and get it done every single time. What your actual routine is going to be. This level of consistency and momentum building will really bleed through your character and everything else, your performance and your energy levels, right? And the line between you and judgmental people as well. Because every small, jealous, minded, hating type is going to be like, what the fuck? Who the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, what is this? I'm not going to hold myself to that standard. Get away from here. I don't like you. You are a mirror of what I could have been and did not become. But we're not going to meditate on that. What we're going to meditate on, because control freaks are the lowest vibration and cultivators are the highest vibration, And mediocre minds will always give violent opposition to great spirits. That's an Einstein quote. And because we want to get to this polar, we understand the law of polarity, a long time ago, right? That's a mile back baby step, right? We understand what Carl Jung says about the deepest taproot and the highest branch. All right, these universal laws, we know. We've studied that before we got to this. And if you haven't, catch up. That, it's not hard. You can do it in a day, really. You just have to have that level of dedication and consistency and discipline and character to even hear a Jedi. Low character people, worms, Jerry Springer people, those people can't even hear me. They can't hear anybody. They already know everything too. They're telepathic. And like I said, I'm not a guru. I'm just sharing with you where I'm at, how I'm thinking, how I've done it. And I've been studying and I had to really overcome some stuff. Okay, so here's the meditation. And I want you to just think right? God was a paradigm builder. God wants us to get to where he is. The best, highest operational teachers, they want their students to beat them. They're not just winners that want to see everyone win. They're winners that want to upgrade everyone even more and find a way that this next person can become the next level that they didn't even reach. That's true growth generationally. That's true thankfulness for this life. That's true gratitude and interest to gain respect from above. Really, that's what that is, right? And there's no conflict, there's no distraction, there's no dum-dum, there's no drama that's going to come off and derail us from that, right? In fact, if we've got to take our young people out to the jungle to make them Spartans and keep them away from the stupid, that is what we have to do. Just let me fast forward that. That is what we have to do, You got to face the hard truths. You might like to be a city person. You might like to, you know what I mean? But if you can't adapt, like what is that, Einstein says adaptability is the greatest measure of intelligence. So, upgrade your intelligence. Believe it or not, the next chapter in your story, if you're able to have chapters in your story, is going to be beautiful. You're going to learn so much. You're going to challenge yourself. I was watching last night, and we're going to get to the meditation. We are. But only for those who stick in, get the diamond stuff. I'm watching Anti-Alienations live from last night. Maddie, Anti-Alienation Project on YouTube. And she's dissecting a cult because she's a PSYOP investigator as well. She's a student of the PSYOP, the deception, the distraction, the confusion, the stuff that we can just simply step away from. You have to recognize it, and it will come back in like a little spore will come into your community way out in the jungle, and it will start to grow, and you will jab just like a wart spore. You will jab your pocket knife in there, and you will cut that out, and you will, as soon as you can identify it. No, I'm just kidding. Compost. The Spartans knew. Anyway, we will be paradigm builders if we're going to reach. Let's just think, if God does want us to reach that level, we will be new paradigm builders. We will not just, Candace Owens for president, recognize that this is a satanic freak show and these people are Satanists and they're weird and they're doing occultist shit and they're occulting information from us and they're control freaks at this low murderous vibration. Drinking baby's blood. So says the Epstein files. I don't know. I don't care. I know it's evil, and the details, I'm cool to just say we're going to step away from this and prevent it from growing into us. And once we become stable, and sustainable, which humanity is not at this time. Not only will we be able to live 5 times this population that's on the planet right now, these psychopathic, murderous control freaks are wrong, as long as we live in a sustainable form. It's the form in which we're living. It's the plastic island creation that we're doing. It's the ways that we're doing things. It's the fact that we're investing billions of dollars into war and not into nature jab. That's an Instagram, plastiline centers, compost, power generators, solar stations to, as Sean Ryan's podcast. I'll put links to all this up below. Right. So, give me a few hours once this is done. Once we start living sustainably with the natural system that's being prescribed to us, the natural complex system, and we live all simple systems now that's being prescribed to us, we will be smarter, more empathetic, more interconnected, more soulful, more strong immune system as well. Seriously, definitely, like, we should have had the opposite recommendations. Go outside, get sun, kiss your dog, keep your immune system high, nutritional diversity diet, exercise. That's it, Now, the consequences. Okay, the consequences of not knowing that information, the consequences of believing these deceptive people could be seriously grievous. Deceivers are always being deceived. They are just demonic tools on the food chain. Okay, yeah. Hey, buenos dias. Yeah, on the demonic food chain, yeah, that's how it works. Like, all bad activity helps bad activity, all good activity helps good activity. Bad activity, all these people, they're really just kind of demonic tools in the food chain on the negative spectrum of things. They're fools, tools, they're deceived, and they're little princes and princesses of deception themselves. All right, meditation. Here it is. We are going to be builders of new paradigms. We are going to be builders of new systems. Comfort zone kills. False information kills. Excuses and justifications and lack of being able to do personal inventory at a scientific, grueling, blade sharpening, I'm talking rough stone, get the nicks out level. It's our failure to do this that is our lack of character at this time. Character is very dynamic and can grow all kinds of ways. But at this time, we are going to do this thing we probably haven't done completely to the degree that I'm talking about yet. And that is commitment to honesty with everybody. Because when the angels fly above, they're going to be like, whoa, look at that. That dude's actually not telling any lies at all. Bang. Now you get the attention from above. Somebody down there is not distracted. They're not deceived. They're not confused. And there's no crying in baseball. You can be confused and we can be sympathetic for you. Or you can get into purification. So self-purification. Clean the mind that creates the world around you. So important. Clean the mind that creates the world around you. Have character in mind. Decide. I'm here because I decided to be. I'm doing this because I decided to be. If you're doing this because if you're doing this, no, they need me. No. You have been subjected to a manipulation, to a confusion, to a control, not a cultivation. I want everyone to be free and win and fly. You can come back to the nest. We can all come back and meet up in the city, whatever. But we're all able to get our mission agenda and go get it done. I can't tell you how valuable that is right there. If you're a solid enough player to where you can be given some challenging list of stuff in the day, boom, now you're able to be on a Jedi team. You see that? Boom, just like that. If you're not, you're not. And if you're hanging out with people that are okay with, that accept, that install people screwing them over every single day and lying to them every single day and running them around in circles, whether it's the news or your brother, your sister, your dad, or whatever, if you accept that, you install that into your life, and now you're in the Jerry Springer chase your dog tail gerbil wheel disease thing that most people are in right now. And what's going to develop from that, we can know by analyzation of all those people. Entitlement, ego, unappreciative of, attitude, disrespectful, impolite. The first thing nature teaches you, according to Stephen Herbert Bodden and me, I completely agree, is politeness. Not just respect, politeness. Right? Aren't we missing that? Kindness, the character to want to see everybody win, and the strength to resist and cut out everybody, all the losers who just want to see you lose and are doing something to put a wrinkle in your day. And if you continue to accept that as deceptive and smile on their face about it as they are, then you've installed that in your life. You've installed a saboteur, and you're never gonna sail without incident. And it's your own stupid fault. And I don't feel bad for you. I don't feel bad for you, especially after you've watched this. Hua, and that's the benefit of having Jedi friends. You are the sum of the 5 people you're around. That is true. Change your environment to change your life. Simply change your geography, plan out, go do the vision quest. It is mandatory. It's mandatory. There's no way around it. You do it or you don't do it. A dynamic person with ultimate character has done it extensively, does it on a regular basis. Every day, every PFE, we're going to meditate on being creators, appreciative, respectful, kind creators. And no matter what storm, violent storm is going on around us, our inner waters remain calm. We are not drifters. We're not leaves in the wind. Temptation, force, threat, fear does not sway us. We move. We have decided who we are and what we stand on, and we move like it. And that's going to intimidate the shit out of anyone who hasn't done it yet. But that's your business card to anyone who has. Because it takes one to know one. And we can read, and that's how you know it's progressive and growth oriented as well. It takes all this experience to get there. It takes all this time and training to get there. You really sharpen your blade and it's sharper than everyone else's. You hit the gym harder than everybody and you're stronger than everybody. Do not inject anything. Stem cells are the only thing I don't inject. I've never injected nothing. I don't do the poisons. I don't do the toxic water supply. I live exactly everything I'm telling you. I super nutrify myself because I also see when I make a superfood for my plants and I give them, I see what happens to them. All right, so we're praying on being creators, thankful, character. We've decided this is who we're going to be. It's as simple as that. Now I'm going to end this with the most powerful name in the game. Jesus Christ. Oh Lord, thank you so much for this beautiful life. We love you. We love you. We love you. We thank you. We thank you. We thank you. We're always thinking of you and the beautiful example you've set for us. We're always striving to achieve it. and be shepherds ourselves and cultivators ourselves and step away from the control freaks. We are ready to defend. We are ready for whatever, whenever. We are training constantly because we do love you and we want to show you that we are here in the best shape to be the best servants of goodness and greatness and character as we possibly can. And we say these things humbly, loyalty, and genuinely, because genuine is all we're going to be. In the name of Jesus Christ, amen. And I really, really do. I have, it took me a long time. I went from wanting to kill 10 people, going to the jungle, to not do it, staying there for years, all the way to finally, nah, I just became, nobody could have survived that whole shit right there. And not gone to jail and not hurt another person. You know, especially coming from the trajectory I came from, where most of the kids are still locked up as adults, right? I'm lucky to be free, man. I'm so blessed and equipped with it. And it's because, guys, I gotta share with you the most important thing in my story, just real fast at the end of this. It's because OG saw the situation I was in at 13, taught me about God to the point where I went off on my own in Birmingham, Alabama. I'm from Albuquerque. I've been traveling the world. He was an escaped con too, ran on parole. And I had broke out of a juvie jail, group home, something. And then, and so we got this, I'm making 300 to 1,500 a day, motel rooms, girls, like we were killing, you know, for a young guy, a fake ID said I was 16. Anyway, I go jump on my knees in the rain in Birmingham, Alabama, and I'm praying to God. And dude, I have a real Pulp Fiction scene. You know, the Pulp Fiction where the guy comes out of the bathroom, lets out all the rounds, and then the two that John Travolta and Samuel L. Jackson are arguing, was that divine intervention or just by chance? You know, Samuel L. Jackson's right. So I had that amongst many other things. A 357 also was shot right at me from 4 feet away, went right between my legs. You know what I mean? It was, but the gun was pointed exactly at me. It was just for several. I'm not gonna say that I'm invincible, but you know, fuck, dude. I went down on the New Jersey Turnpike at like 100 miles an hour. I slid for like 100 feet. I got up and walked away from that. Parental alienation laid me out for months and months and months, and then it would come. It was like a going and coming coma. It killed me. I died. I had my life saved. Our friend Aaron Roberts just really actually died from the same thing. There is evil in the world, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not gonna sit here and listening to you telling me that they don't, that there's not evil people out there that make evil decisions, that there's not a polar evil out there that creates an environment and an influence and they're the big drop in the lake, and all these other, you know, people using, people abusing, people deceiving things, people, entities, spirits make the decision. I am willing to use this kid direct to X and get the checks. Dude, once you do that, once you cross a line like that, and believe me, these people, they built up to this. The skeletons in the closet, all the little lies they talk, is stacked so freaking high, it's unbelievable. We'll never know, but I know enough. You know, my mother's one of them, right? You're gonna get MPD or MPC, or you're gonna be a freaking one of us. You know what I'm saying? That's it, right? And so when it comes down to life or death through intrinsic spiritual warfare, combat, black magic, witchcraft, using an innocent kid. Anyway, let's just wrap this one up, right? But yeah, so Friday the 13th this year. Yesterday, and the next one's November 13th. Yesterday, insane bombing campaign. Candace Owens, all kinds of people have exposed, you know, the control freaks are satanic and they're really getting it together. They made the money system. It's theirs. They print it. They say, hey, we're all going to use this. Here's some for you. We print it. Like, we're suing the Fed. I watched this whole thing. Well, the Fed won't answer my subpoena. Dude, it's a fucking game. This is the most seriously simple bullshit that's ever been run on humanity. And then it's satanic people running it. Well, you know, pay attention to the signs. They're there. Can you read them? Nobody can right now. It's a perfect opportunity for you to become angelic. This is the time for you to become angelic. And mouth sounds and all this, at the end of the day, it really doesn't care what you call it or what comes out of your face. Speak the language of action. That's what goes through. That's what's going to stick. Your language of action. And if you have a mouth sound that doesn't line up with your actions, you just done yourself in right there. You're better to just shut up, be right, and if there's anything to be said, make sure it's true. And I want to just say right here, again, and many times, sometimes I'm just talking fast and I'm trying to just rip it out, you know, just like old school little session here about character and wanting to see other people win and being that winning torch, that light, that sun in the lives of other people. And people are going through dark times right now. You know what I mean? My bro just lost his pops. Fuck, I will be in pain when that happens to me. I will be in pain. I know I will be in pain. Like, I'm not, you know, I'm genuine. I'm an authentic person. So when I love people, I really love them a lot. You know, I really care because I've decided I'm going to be this genuine dude. And then I've been that for fucking a long, long time. Because I saw my mother and I didn't even have a word for her. Whatever that is, I'm going to be the opposite of it. And from that, I've been in spirit tipping, top of the food chain, the most cowboy cats in town, everywhere I go. Or nobody. Now, because I can be so much more productive by myself, actually. Other people are just a distraction. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm saying. If you're an independent operator who has a huge skill set, who can just take a list of hard, challenging things and come back and have them done, which you totally can be, now you're a Jedi and you're going to find yourself on a Jedi team who will build you, purify you. You don't owe anybody anything. All right? And if you think you do, and if you think you got to stay in some stupid situation because of some false promise or blah, 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 or this person's going to fall, let them fall. It's a hard lesson to learn when you're a good person. Let them fall. If you keep a deceiver, a distracted, a derailed person going, you're only elongating the amount of time that they're a drifter too. Both of you are stuck in drift now. Because you haven't taken the reins on your life. You haven't decided to change your environment. You haven't decided, I am going to jump out of this nest and fly finally with my own two wings just so I know that I can do it. Which you can. And that's your baseline, man. Don't say that you know anything about anything if you can't do that. Now, I'm talking about things I know about on here. I wouldn't dare come here and just mouth sound. But there's so many regurgitators out here that have no experience. They have no hands dirty. Your doctor, your supplement manufacturer, all those people, they don't know how nutrition's cultivated. The health professionals are the reason we have a health crisis. And then now we flip the food pyramid upside down. Shut the fuck. You need to get rid of that. And that's what Buckminster Fuller points out as well. Buckminster Fuller points out you're not going to reform a broken system. You're not going to change the perspective and change the direction in which you read it and get the best results. No, you're going to replace that system completely. And that's what we need to do. At least with our conscious totally doable with our conscious paradigm, and we can start to do that through these PV meditation sessions, morning meditation sessions, and affirmations. that we are created in the image of God. We do realize the reality that's in front of us. We do realize the potential to become absolutely best, even outside of the best curriculum of the modern mind. We do have the ability to connect with other Jedis and stop being right and start learning and get your freaking ego out of the whole thing, because while your ego can take you to the ring, I get it. I love, it's a tool that you can choose to use, or it's a tool that uses you, and it's not good. And you have to realize the what this thing is, and you have to be able to isolate it, and you have to be able to meditate on it, and you have to be able to say, I am a winner. I want to see everyone else win. I want to see the student beat the teacher, because that's my highest, truest self. Who? I love you guys. I'm always thinking of the good that I can do in the world. And the only selfish thing there is that I get my wings in stage 2. But I really, truly, because I've been doing it for so long, believe it or not, because I've been oriented this way, because I decided so many, right? And I do this all the time. I sponsor a bunch of young kids, all this stuff. You can see it in my Instagram. Because of that, I really now truly am just full of love. I can't be distracted. I can't be hated on. You want to talk about me all day? That's cool. I'm never really going to address my fan club. You know what I mean? I'm not upset by it. You know what I mean? I'm definitely not going to sit around with my friends and talk about you. I'm going to sit around with my Jedi homies, and we're going to talk about growth and moving forward. And we know about the cool guys. We know, yes, you're cool. You're cool. We're not. We're darks. You're the shit. And we'll see wherever that shakes out at. Much love, guys.